Good day again, students. This afternoon we are going to be looking at a math lesson, which is the addition of fractions with unlike denominators. Alright? However, we are going to be using a different method, a different strategy. Alright? And the strategy that we are going to use today is called the butterfly method. Now, previously, we would have done this exact type of sum, whether it was addition or subtraction of fractions with unlike denominators, by finding the common multiple, and more so the lowest common multiple, and then bringing those two new fractions to a new fraction. Alright? So, what we are going to do today is another method. Now, I always say to you that there are many ways to do a particular sum. Alright? For instance, we may want to get to Princeton, and we could choose to use the route of Mandingo Road, we can choose to go to Lengua Road, we can choose to go through Perium, or we could decide to stay on the main road and go down the Matilda Road. All those different routes will still bring us to our destination, which is Princeton. So it's the same way with some of the math topics. There may be different methods to arrive at the same answer. So today we are going to be looking at addition of fractions with unlike denominator, but using the butterfly method. So we are going to begin. Let's say we have a sum 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay, now if we recognize here, we have two fractions and both of them have different denominators, and we know it's impossible to add fractions with unlike denominators just like that. So we must do something in order to have the same denominator. So using this method, and this is what I'm going to ask you to do, please try and get some colored markers or some colored pencils, because we are going to be drawing a butterfly. Very important that you draw so that it is shown clearly or explicitly. Remember that word that I would have taught you, explicit, which means to be stated clearly. So when we use the different colors, it's going to be seen clearly what we have to calculate. So we are going to be drawing a butterfly from here, and this is how we are going to be calculating our sum. So here we go. We're going to be drawing our first butterfly wing, and I want you to look at it. So we have a butterfly wing there. What are the digits that are in this butterfly wing? Yes, it's 1 and 4. And next we're going to draw the second butterfly wing. Now if you could get another color, go right ahead. So now we have the second butterfly wing. What are the digits in this black butterfly wing? It's 2 and 1. Then we are going to be drawing, what do we call this on the top of a butterfly's head? Yes, it's called the antenna. Alright, very important because something we have to do there. Let's look and see what we're going to do now. In order to calculate this, we must get a new denominator. I'll show you how we will arrive at that new denominator in a while. So I'll do this down here. Alright, good. Let's start. Now, even though this sum is asking us to add, we, however, must use multiplication in order to get these new digits. Alright? So we are going to multiply the digits that are in each butterfly wing. So we will begin with the first two digits. Now remember I said we are going to multiply first, but the sum is really asking us to add, and we will add lastly. Okay? So we go with our first red butterfly wing, and the digits are 1, 4. So we say 1, 4, multiply 1, 4, or 4 ones, which is 4. And that 4 goes by this butterfly antenna here. Secondly, we have 2, 1, or 1, 2, which is 2. Good? Now we bring up this addition sign up here. Okay, so we have now gotten new denominators. That's what we actually got there. New denominators for our sum. But now we must get a new denominator also. What do? We do the same multiplication first. So we have 2 and 4. Multiply 2, 4, and we will get 8. So our new denominator is 8. Good. Now, class, we are going to be doing some addition, which is what the sum asked us to do in the first state. 4 plus 2 is 6. And our new denominator is 8. So our sum, the answer to our sum is actually 6 eighths. Now, if we look at 6 eighths, something about 6 and 8 looks incomplete. Can anybody tell me if we should leave our sum or the answer to our sum as 6 eighths, or if there's something that we can do? I want Jarrell to tell us what you think we can do there. Yes, that is excellent, Jarrell. What we can do there is to reduce our fraction. Okay, so we reduce it to bring it in its lowest term, or sometimes we say it is in its simplest form. Remember those words, because sometimes you may be given an instruction where they ask you, your answer must be in its lowest term or in its simplest form. Alright, so we are going to reduce our fraction now. Now remember, this answer is correct, but if they ask you to reduce it or in its simplest form or its lowest term, then you are not going to get all your marks. Okay, they are going to deduct marks if you did not reduce it. So let's reduce this fraction. To reduce this fraction, we need to ask ourselves, is there a number less than these two numbers, or probably the numerator, that can go into both the numerator and the denominator at the same time? Now, if we look at this, we would say, 3 could go into 6. Huh? But you know what? 3 cannot go into 8. Or we could say 4 can go into 8. But what? 4 cannot go into 6. So we must arrive at a number that can go into both the two digits, or both our numerator and our denominator. And that answer will be what? Jael? Yes, 2 can go into both 6 and 8. So let's do this working. So we now ask, 2 into 6 is 3. Great. And 2 into 8 is 4. So our new answer is 3/4. So what this is really telling us is 1/2 plus 1/4 is equal to, first 6/8, but when we reduced it, it became 3/4. Alright, so you have this here. Miss cannot do another example, so you have it there where you can go over and you're going to be doing some practicing. Alright, and then Miss is going to send you a worksheet where you are going to use this method for me. Alright, now remember, it must be done in your book. Okay, it must be done in your book, and I expect to see all the pretty butterflies. And I know my students, especially my girls, you all may want to go a little further and do some coloring and pretty it up like you all. Alright, so you could go right ahead, but I expect neat work in your notebook, okay, with the butterfly method. Okay, so see you guys later. You can now have your break.